Good morning, everybody. I am Terry Fields, the personal injury attorney here in metropolitan Atlanta area, and I'm coming to you this morning with makeup and legal tips. I took a couple days off, actually Monday and Tuesday of this week, because Monday I had to get to, while I would usually be filming this video, I had to actually get up the street to court to file something at a court that is not close to me at all. And they don't have electronic filing at this time, so I missed my talk with you. I really did miss it. So I've been thinking about this topic that we're going to talk about today. I've been thinking about it for a couple of days, and I'm excited to share the content with you because I think it's very, very, very important. As a matter of fact, I had a call recently about this topic, and I was very sad to share with the lady the state of affairs, but I'll explain that to you. So we're going to continue on with our book, Weird and Unusual Trivia. I hope that you all are enjoying that, and I have something in my eye. Weird and Unusual Trivia. I hope you all are enjoying that. Gosh, what is it in my eye? What is this? All of a sudden, as I'm trying to be great, then all of a sudden something is in my eye irritating me. I think that took care of probably a rogue eyelash. Okay. So let me get myself organized before I get started. Okay, so the topic you can see from the title of this video is about defective cars. A defective car caused your wreck. Let me start with this. Maybe you're riding around right now in a car that you know ain't right. You know that this car, the power steering ain't right, or the brakes ain't working. You know something is going on with this car, but you keep it pushing. Let me tell you why you shouldn't do that, why it's very important. If you have a car and you suspect that it has a defect, if it does cause a wreck and hurts you, and there's evidence on the record that you knew it was defective, let's just say you inquired of a mechanic and wound up not getting it fixed, or you complained to your spouse or a loved one, yeah, this car is not working, or a friend or someone overheard you, or someone knows that this car was having issues. If the car actually, the defect is actually a cause of your injury, it's going to be very, 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 very hard for you to argue the liability, complete liability of the manufacturer. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about brake defects, power steering, or mechanical defects, or those kind of defects that you know might cause a wreck, especially brakes. Now, you know if your brakes aren't working right. And if you don't do anything about it and a wreck is caused, there could be liability on your part. So I just want to make it clear, if you feel like your car has any kind of defect, you need to go ahead and get that fixed as quickly as possible. Expeditiously, as T.I. would say. As quickly as possible. You want to go ahead and get that fixed. So, what are we talking about? A car wreck. There was a defect in the car. Let me first talk about it from the standpoint of the person in the other car. There's not a whole lot you can do. No, let's not do that. Because that doesn't make much sense. Let's talk about it from the standpoint of, it's your car and you have been injured. You feel like your car was the cause of it. There was a wreck and you have been, you have caused someone injury, and I'm pausing now because I'm thinking about, do I need to start this video over? I'm just going to be honest with you, but no, I'm too far into my makeup, so I really can't start over. Okay, we will talk about the other person who was injured, who was not at fault. But now let's just focus on the driver of the car. They know it was a defect and we feel like that car is defective. And let me just go ahead and jump to my phone call that I got a couple of months ago from a lady. It was actually a mother. Her son was actually killed in a car wreck. And she was telling me, it was like months later, she was like, my son was in this car wreck. He was killed in this car wreck. Single car wreck. It was just him. He was the only passenger. He had a child, a newborn child. It's so sad. So she's calling on behalf of her little grandchild. He will never know his father. He was injured in this wreck. He was actually killed in this wreck. We believe it was the power steering fluid. We believe it was the power steering that caused this wreck. So I had to follow up with a couple of questions. Number one being, where's the car now? How do you know it was the power steering? And she had pretty good answers, but her number one thing was she didn't know where the car was at this time. I think the car had been destroyed. That's a big problem. That's an issue. Number one, if you feel like, so that brings me to my first point. So if you feel like you have been in a car wreck and you are injured because this car has a defect. Okay, so the first point I made to you was, number one, you had to be diligent about reporting the defect and getting it fixed. And number two, you got to prove it. And the best way to do it is to maintain the vehicle. Where is the vehicle now? Oh my God, I don't have my hair thing. Y'all, I am just... I usually have one over here, but I took it away to wash it and didn't replace it. So yeah, that's the first question, is where is the vehicle? Where is the car? She didn't have it. So unfortunately, there was not anything that we could prove or substantiate that there has been a car defect. So that's my number one directive to you. If you feel like you have been in a car wreck that was caused by a defect in the vehicle, is to keep the vehicle. Get it towed. Do not get it fixed before you consult with your attorney. Your attorney is going to send someone out to review the vehicle. And if you get the car repaired, you can understand why that would be destroying evidence. That's going to be not making it easy for any expert to review the car in its state during the state that it was during the wreck to determine. Wow. I don't have much room on this little table here, so. Okay. Ugh. I am rusty this morning. It's amazing what a couple days off will do to you. So you want the expert to be able to review this vehicle in as near the state that it was during the wreck as possible. Do not get any repairs made to it. You want to get it towed. And so this is the case where very often in these defect cases, unfortunately, the person injured has been killed, because the defects can be airbag, safety belts, the roof. Maybe the roof of the vehicle was a turnover wreck and the roof just caved right on in. And the steel cage is supposed to be a little bit more durable than that, based on, this is where the expert comes in. The expert will talk about the force and velocity of the wreck and should the roof have collapsed the way that it did. So anyway, all of these are defects in the car that are important. Oh, okay. And let me just say, though, those are defects like airbags, safety. I don't know that I've ever had a car personally where the airbag deployed. So that is not something that you would be able to ascertain as being a defect in the car. That's something that after the wreck happened, you maybe figure out that there's an airbag defect. But when you get in the car and you're driving it, it's not the same as like a power steering issue or a tire issue or a brake issue. You're able to ascertain those from the outset. I hope this is making sense. So if you have any inkling that there has been I don't know what I'm doing with this. There has been a defect in your car. You need to go and have that investigated immediately. Let's just blend. So again, I just wanted to commend to you airbag issues, seatbelt issues, those kind of things after the wreck has happened. It's not your job to ascertain those beforehand, but after the wreck has happened, if you believe that you have one of those issues, then get the lawyer. The lawyer will get you an expert to review your vehicle, and the expert will opine, provide an opinion as to whether we can move forward on on those grounds. Okay, and I have my water. We are going to hydrate today. Oh God, I want my hairband so bad, but this is okay. It's gonna work out just fine. Okay, so blend, blend, blend. And actually, if I'm not doing my makeup for you guys, I'm not doing my makeup at all. So this is my first time in a couple days. Oh, and I wanted to show you, I got some little handwork on my hand. Last Friday, it's all faded. It was all on my fingers as well. And it's all faded now. So that was Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Had it 4 days. Okay. So that is the issue. So let's just say you are someone who was injured in a wreck and it wasn't your car. You still had a cause. The defective car was not your car. You were driving in another car. Let's say you were driving in car A and then car B comes and hits you and the driver of car B is saying, hey, it was because of this defect. Of course, you're a plaintiff as well. But of course, you also are going to sue the person who was driving the defective vehicle because they're culpable as well. Especially if you believe that anything that they did caused the wreck. Of course, it's going to depend on the facts of the matter. All of it is going to be very fact specific. You know, this was not wet. And I could see the blending issues. Okay. Y'all, I just cannot even wait to get my new fresh makeup. You know, I need to look at some more makeup tutorials. I think I'm doing okay for my purposes. But, all right. So we're going to bake here a little bit. You know, I think the color from the bake is what really makes this work for me. Gonna bake, bake, bake. I don't know if I ever told y'all what my bake is. It is Lauren Mercier. Oh, I put it right on my, why not? The bake is supposed to keep the makeup in place. So, right, why not? Then I can just put some more eyeshadow on if I need it. It is cold here in Georgia, so my nose is just so runny. Okay, so I think that's what I wanted to tell you about defective cars. Not a whole lot of that content this morning. Just defective cars, pay attention to them. Just to recap, pay attention to them. If you suspect your car is defective in any way, check it out, get it fixed to the best of your ability and document that process. Because even if you're injured by it, it will be held against you, not much less somebody else trying to sue you because you hurt them with this defective vehicle. But if you yourself are injured and are trying to get recovery for dealing with this or driving this defective vehicle, you will be foreclosed if it looks like you didn't even try to fix it. Which reminds me that you need to keep up with all of the recalls on the car. If there are any recalls, you need to register so that you can get those alerts by email or text message or email or through the snail mail. You need to register to make sure that the manufacturer has all your information and you can get those recall information and get everything fixed the way that it's supposed to, and then it'll be logged in the maintenance records so that you personally will escape any kind of liability for any manufacturer defect or no liability can even be apportioned to you because you did what you were supposed to do with regard to taking care of this vehicle. So you want to make sure that you are maintaining the vehicle. And then also if you feel like if there has been a wreck and you just feel like it was caused by some kind of defect or your injuries were exacerbated because of a defect in the vehicle, you need to act with all due speed, all due rapidity. You need to make sure that you get a lawyer and have this lawyer investigate on your behalf. I hope all of that makes sense. I'm just going to go out of order because my hair, I got it done I said I was going to keep it like this. It's probably been about 3 weeks now. And I'm going to keep this in here at least another week and a half. I get my hair done every 5 weeks, and it's very expensive. So in order to make it worth my while, I want to feel like that looks a little better. And I like it the older it looks, actually. I know I just put color in there, but all right. I know I need to do some work with my eyebrows, but what can you say? My lips are feeling so chapped right now, so let me do that. It's winter time. You know, while I'm getting ready to do these videos, I got all these ideas in my mind, all these things that I'm going to tell you. Then the camera starts rolling, and I can't think of nothing to say. But I will tell you this. I did go to the dentist yesterday, and I was telling my hygienist about my new water pick, and I loved it. And she was like, "You're still flossing, right?" So that right, I didn't even continue. I didn't even ask her any follow-up questions. But that right there tells me that she does not believe that the water pick is a substitute for flossing. But she was very happy. I was very happy with my checkup and how everything went there. So, but that's just an update on me and my water pick. It is going very well. I love it very much. It's doing a great job for me. So, anyway, I think I told you all I wanted to tell you about car defects. Just let me know if you have any questions on that, anything I didn't cover. It's going to be very important that you do a lot of work here just to make sure that your claims are preserved if you feel like your car has any defect. So it's an area that can really be messed up really easy. It's a trap for the unwary if you're not careful. So, all right. Let me just prime the eyelashes. I got primer on my eyebrow, on my eyelid, I should say. It's good that it's white so you can see exactly where it goes, right? Or exactly where it has gone, I should say. We're going to do this one. Yeah. Oh! Goodness gracious. See, I don't know. I need a teleprompter or something, but here is what else I want to tell you about a defective vehicle. If you can, at the scene of the wreck, if something has happened, you suspect this vehicle is defective, take pictures, take video. You want to document, because this evidence can get easily lost. And when it's lost, it's lost. There's nothing anybody can do about it. What is going on there? If it's lost, it's forever lost. And that is a recovery that you're entitled to that you'll never get if this evidence is lost. Goodness. So hard to talk while doing these eyelashes. I tell you, they have become my favorite part of my makeup routine, but it is. Okay, so I was watching someone do their eyelashes, and I cleaned these, and I have like ripped all the hair out of them. Okay, this is itching. Itching the dickens out of me. And I saw someone put them on just how I just did. Well, I'm going from the inside edge. I should go from the outside edge, but it's on. Easy peasy. Man, I used to struggle with these. Y'all saw me when I was first doing these. I have not put on my eyelashes outside of the presence of this camera. So y'all can appreciate what a struggle it had been. I cannot believe how quickly I'm doing my makeup this morning. It's like down to 19 minutes. And it's good because this topic was very short. So I think I recapped already. So for defective vehicles, just make sure you are documenting and being smart, being wise about it so that there can be no liability for you. And I'll just give the same caveat that I give for every case that you have. Just understand that it's a long process. It's going to take a while from the time of the wreck to the resolution, especially when you have these manufacturers like Ford and any car manufacturer. They're going to fight you. They're not just going to roll over. They're going to say that you did something wrong. And actually, I was involved in another case, like the car owner had made substantial changes to the vehicle and was trying to sue for manufacturer defect. And that's what Ford was saying. It was actually a Ford. And Ford was saying, well, you made all of these changes. There was no way for the safety protocols that we put in place to actually work because you made all these substantial changes. So that's another thing. When you get a vehicle, if you make a bunch of changes to it, I mean, it's your prerogative. But if you are injured, if you are then injured because of this vehicle, just realize that the manufacturer is going to make those arguments. They're going to argue that it was your fault. And it's, of course, it's nothing personal. That's what I always want to tell my clients. None of this is anything personal. Oh, God, I just got so much running through my mind as I'm talking. But none of this is anything personal. None of it is anything personal at all. They just, have to protect their bottom line. They have their stockholders and all that stuff. And anyway, that's what their objective is to look out for number one. So, all right. If any questions about that, I look forward to, I will address specifically any questions. But other than that, I think I am done with that topic for now. Yeah. My foundation brush always has just so much foundation. I think if I could get all the foundation that gets caught up in the brush, I could do my face probably 10 more times. If I accumulate all the foundation that I clean out of the brush. Okay, that's mine. Okay, now let's do another version, another session of weird and unusual trivia. Burn, baby, burn. This is actually kind of long. For the last few decades, late-night comedians have joked that Cleveland is the only city in the world where both the mayor's hair and the river have caught fire. Around noon on a sleepy Sunday in June 1969, a train car was making its way across the Cuyahoga River in downtown Cleveland. A spark from a broken wheel touched off an explosion in a pool of volatile sludge in the water below. The river, which moved slowly through the city center, tended to collect logs, railroad ties, and other debris around the foot of the trestles. These provided additional fuel, while the water itself was full of petroleum and other industrial runoff from steel plants upstream. The blaze quickly reached heights of 5 stories and consumed the Norfolk and Western Railway Company trestle. 3 fire departments sent teams to battle the flames from shore, while a fireboat worked from the water. The fire was out within 20 minutes before any members of the press could even make it to the site to snap a picture. The Norfolk and Western trestle incurred $45,000 worth of damage and had to be closed and rebuilt. A nearby trestle used by Newburgh and South Shore Railway only needed $5,000 worth of repairs. There were no deaths attributed to the fire. The next day, the newspaper published photos from the aftermath of the blaze, merely smoldering embers and trestle rails bent from the heat. As fires went, even in Cleveland's history, the damage wasn't bad but the fallout from the fire is still felt today. I know I heard about some river in some city that burned for days and days and days. Maybe they talk about it in this book. All right. Well, I think I'm done. Let's do this, ladies, fellas, gentlemen, children, anybody within the sound of my voice. Let's take a water break. We must hydrate. So good. It's good. Feels good to get things done. I know I have drunk my allotment of water for this morning. So, all right, here's the makeup for today. This is the best it's going to get. That's how it's going to look. I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful and lovely day. I certainly will do my best, and I will see you back here next time for more makeup and legal tips.